What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here for an urgent Tottenham update, and it's not a good one, unfortunately, as Christian Romero is set to be sidelined between 3 to 4 weeks with a muscle problem, and it's really frustrating, because he's been an absolute standout performer for us so far this season. And Sanchez is going to have to come in on that right-hand side for at least the next 3 weeks. And, you know, some fixtures that we do have over the next 3-4 weeks: Wolves at home this weekend, Forest away, West Ham away, and Fulham at home as well.
If he's out for 4 weeks, he misses Man City away and Leicester at home as well.
Man City away, and
if he's out for 4 weeks.
Very frustrating. It's very frustrating. I mean, what are your thoughts, Tim?
I mean, it's obviously annoying that just after a good performance against Chelsea that he had, he gets away with the red card, but maybe it's how do you call it? Like a seismic justice. How do you call it?
It's called karma.
Karma. That's probably a better word for it. That he's now been ruled out for 4 weeks after that incident. Maybe it was a muscle pulled in his hand after pulling Cucurella's hair. But look, it's a massive blow for us. Let's not beat around the bush, especially how important he is to how our back three play. We did have the same fears and reservations last season when Sanchez had to play the last 3 games of the season. And to be fair to Sanchez, he was brilliant. We kept 3 clean sheets. He really stepped up when we needed him to, and we could have few complaints. So it's not, I don't think it's right to start a panic in this scenario just because he's going to be missing 4 weeks when Sanchez stepped up admirably. However, you can't help but acknowledge the fact that Romero is so important to us, the way he plays. So he's going to be a massive miss for the next 4 weeks, and hopefully he can make a speedy recovery and be back sooner than expected. But it's a massive blow, I'm not gonna lie. I just wonder, obviously Sanchez would definitely be the one coming in, but would you be tempted to give Tanganga a go at that right centre-back spot?
Not for me, to be honest. I think Sanchez is a level above Tanganga, in my opinion. I'm just not fully convinced about Tanganga. I know he's put in performances here and there to a high level, but I think Sanchez is just that more ready-made player than Japet Tanganga, and I think it's just more of a risk putting Tanganga in over Sanchez. And like you say, Sanchez, first 3 games of last season, last 3 games of last season, stepped in really well, as we kept quite a few clean sheets in those games. So I think it has to be Sanchez, but I'm thinking, does this hurry up the need for a centre-back from now until the end of the window? Maybe. I mean, with Sanchez coming in, we always knew it was Sanchez and Romero are going to be our right-sided centre-backs. But, you know, we have Longley there. Is there a way we can somehow fit Longley into that team? Do we move Dyer over to the right? If he's ready.
Can we move Dyer over to the right and put Longley in the centre? I don't think you want Longley on the right-hand side. I don't know if there's a space if it means Longley can get into the team. But maybe if Longley's ready, he could be an answer. Obviously, there's Sanchez there now. But then I guess another question is, are we starting to worry a bit about how frequent Romero picks up injuries? Because last season he was ruled out for 3 months. He then picked up an injury at the end of last season as well, which ruled him out for the end of the season. And then he's been ruled out now for another month, which is really frustrating. And I was saying to Jory, I remember during the Chelsea game, he goes in for this tackle, and he plays the game at 100 miles an hour, Romero, and that's what gives him his edge. But it also means that he's always going to be either liable for a card or an injury. And I'm not sure if this is what has caused this muscle injury, but the way he plays probably doesn't help that, does it?
No, I get that, but you know, sometimes you don't want to take that fire out of him. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying I'm not saying we have to change. I'm just saying, is he always going to be picking up these injuries?
Who knows? Who knows is the answer to that, but it's definitely warranted in the cards basis, because he's definitely always going to be picking up cards playing like that.
That's for sure.
Injuries, I'm not so sure. You know, a player at his age as well can also grow out of picking up these injuries as they progress and as their bodies develop and stuff like that. But look, it's definitely a point. It's definitely a good point you raised, but I'm unsure. But definitely, since he's come to Tottenham, the injuries have been pretty frequent. I don't know what his injury record was like at Atalanta. I'd be interested to see that. But you know, as it stands right now, he is picking up quite a few injuries. for Spurs, and it is quite worrying. And I think you do have a point there in terms of the way he plays his football. He is susceptible for more injuries and definitely more bookings. I think a red card is probably just round the corner. But what's his injury record like at Atalanta?
Oh, let's see. In the season before he joined us, he missed quite a few games for injury. Well, he started 29 games, but there was a big section of that's internationals where he didn't play a lot. But it wasn't terrible. Just a lot of internationals he missed for injury. I remember the Copa America, he had a big injury problem, didn't he? And then he played with an injection in the final, managed to get through it, but he missed 3 games in the lead up to that. He started 29 games. He was injured for about... no, he wasn't injured for any games. Only had coronavirus during the season. That was the only game he was injured for. So... internationals, he seemed to have a problem, but in club level, he didn't seem to have a problem.
So I see. So he's been injury-free until he comes to Tottenham, and then he starts picking up all these injuries.
And then he had the season before, he had a couple of injuries.
But it hasn't been a problem before he joined Tottenham, really.
Well, yeah, not really. But yeah, obviously he missed 3 months, didn't he, between November and the end of January. When he had that bad hamstring tear on international duty, and then at the end of the season he had a hip problem. So that's something. I'm hoping it's not something we just have to manage, or maybe it's just he's getting unlucky recently. But it seemed to be a theme that he does seem to pick up injuries occasionally, which is a bit of a problem. If that is something, I mean, that's why Sanchez is there. But maybe it does mean, centre back becomes more priority now. I don't know.
I think a centre back should be a priority anyway.
But it's a centre back we want.
Yeah, I know. But look, I think that it is very frustrating news. It's just something that we're going to have to deal with, and I'm hoping Sanchez can step in like he did at the back end of last season, and then we should be okay.
Do you think it'll cost us any points, this injury?
In the games that we've got, it shouldn't do. I think we should be okay in the games that we got. The only game that I'm thinking about that it might cost us is Man City.
Yeah, because he was so good last time against City.
That's the one game where you're looking at it being like he's going to be a real miss. In the other games, we should be able to handle it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't think the other games you're thinking Sanchez can't do a job, but Sanchez hopefully needs to add even more composure to his play, because if we're trying to play out from the back like we do, under Antonio Conte, we can't. He can't continue in that sloppy, awkward manner that he does when he's on the ball. And I think he was getting better at the end of last season. I just hope he continues in that trajectory.
All right, well, there you have it. That is the disappointing news from today. Cuti Romero has picked up a muscle injury, and he'll be sidelined up to 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, which is very frustrating. But let me know your thoughts on the injury in the comment section below. Let me know if you think it's going to be the detriment to how many points we pick up over the next 3-4 weeks. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.